Welcome to Rocky Mountain Renewal. My name is Victoria. I'm originally from England. I married an American, and after living all over the world, we settled in Manitou Springs, Colorado. We bought a 100-year-old former boarding house and outbuildings which needed complete renovation. It's been a labor of love and lots of hard work, but we still find time to have fun and explore the amazing place we live in. Come join us on our journey as we renew our home and our spirits in the beautiful Rocky Mountains. So another beautiful day here in Colorado, and this is our back cottage, which we rent out at the moment. And coming down to our studio here, it's just a small little building which was originally, I think, the kitchen to the boarding house, the house we live in. And Nathaniel is going to be starting to work on it. So here we go.
Hey.
Hey.
Good morning. So as Victoria mentioned, we believe, or what we've been told, is that this was originally the kitchen when the main house was a boarding house. And according to what we've understood, there was a giant gas cast iron stove here where they would cook the breakfast for the guys before they go to work. So this was essentially just a separate kitchen, which we know was kind of a common thing back in
the fire hazards and so on. So
absolutely.
they kept it away from the main.
So for at least quite a few years, this was the kitchen. There's a chimney right behind here. That was for that. I think there's probably a coal stove in here as well. Over the years, obviously this got converted into other uses, and most recently it was kind of a small studio apartment.
Yeah,
it's not very big. It's only about 350 square feet. Yeah. But it does have a bathroom with a shower and a closet and sort of an area, a sleeping area, a little bit of a small kitchenette kind of thing. We haven't really done much of anything with it.
No, we haven't done anything at all.
Except tear out the floor and a few other things. But we're thinking probably in the short term, we're going to maybe convert this into more of a small gym, given the restrictions of COVID and not being able to get to the gym, and Victoria having to stick around at home with the kids. She can't get to the gym. So my plan is to just do a little bit of demolition today. I'll end up putting in a vinyl floor, just kind of maybe as a short-term solution. Yeah, well, I mean, we want something nicer on the floor.
Well, yeah.
And then we'll put some gym equipment in here. So it's one of those things, I think, where, I'm sure many of you have experienced, where, our long-term vision for this space is a little bit different from what we're going to do in the short term, but for a relatively small amount of money and time, we can get some use out of it before we come up with the big plan of
whatever it's going to be.
Separate, vacation unit for family, or
I don't think a family
rental
would fit in here. Just
your
one
mom
person
or something like that.
I don't think Mum would like to be shoved in here.
Not right now.
Sleep in here.
Not right now. But once we're done with it, maybe she'd more.
I don't know. So. I don't think Mum will want to be in the main building with the rest of us. But we're not shoving.
I wouldn't mind if Mum was out here.
No, we're not putting her out here. That's not.
Sorry if you hear that, Mom. But,
no, I think it'll become a small, separate,
kind of a self-contained unit.
Yeah, self-contained unit, maybe for a student or somebody who would like to just, I don't know, occasional use. I'm not sure, but we can't do Airbnb.
Yeah.
So would you like to explain why?
Well, so the city of Manitou has some restrictions against short-term rentals. They limit the number of properties that can be used for short-term rentals, partially to avoid having the entire town turn into short-term rental properties, which
holiday lets,
a lot of it would, I think, given the number of tourists we have, but also just to try and make sure that there's enough affordable housing for like first responders, teachers, things like that. So,
exactly.
So there's definitely some reasons why I think it's a good approach. I would like to see some tweaks to that policy, but that's a different thing.
Well, that was the original plan when we bought this property with the cottage and this unit here. the cottage in particular, we wanted to rent out. Well, I wanted to do an Airbnb there, but that was not
at the moment
going to happen.
We're not doing that, so
no.
but
We have permanent.
Change in the
We have permanent. Well, we have tenants in there, and that started. What was it? September, October?
Yeah, we finished that one in September.
September. Yeah. So. Okay. And I'm gonna go and take another little look at that now because I know.
So I know there's been a request to actually show more renovation work. I admit we've taken a little bit of a time off on that one after many years of nights and weekends, and but we're gonna get back into it, and we'll make sure that this is a part of the channel. But in the short term, this will be my project. I'm gonna start tearing out this old kitchen here shortly, and yes, we'll get going on that. And you can stop by and see how I'm doing.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Hi. Sorry, I'm not used to that, so that's not gonna work.
Go on. What are you doing?
I'm just tearing stuff apart, which I'm better at than putting stuff together, I think. But anyway.
Okay. So this area is going to be used for what then?
Something other than it currently is. I don't know. All I know is it was old and junky and everything else. So
it looked gross. It looked absolutely gross.
I think kitchenette probably still in the future, given that that's where our sink,
the water
drain,
supply,
the hot and the cold water, and gas coming in. So,
well, what's going to happen with the wood paneling there?
I'm probably going to take it off. I think.
Really?
It's incredibly thick. That's the thing that's.
When do you think that was put on?
Surprised. I don't know, but I mean, it's tongue and groove, but it's like
not like what we had in there, where you could just peel it off the wall.
Yeah, no, it's not super thin when paddling. This is tongue and groove, and it's about half an inch thick, if not a bit more, which is way too much for what you put on a wall. But I may try and save some of it, maybe for reuse somewhere.
Yeah.
But I think it needs to come out. One, I want to put this electrical.
That looks so weird.
Well, it's conduit because of the concrete. So
how are we going to arrange it?
I will fur the wall out.
Yeah.
Put in insulation, and then I'll bury the electric, which is going to look better because you're not going to have that conduit.
Not that horrible.
When they redid the electrical in this building, it was old knob and tube electrical.
Yeah.
Just like the main house was and that house was.
Yeah.
But when they retrofitted it, rather than trying to
that looks
pull wire
horrible
through walls, especially with concrete walls, which is really difficult, obviously, they just put conduit on the surfaces.
It
works,
horrible.
But
it looks hideous. Yeah. So are we gonna have to plaster then?
Oh yeah. Get your plastering.
God.
Plastering tools out, babe.
All right.
Victoria is a master smooth wall plasterer now after plastering literally probably thousands of square feet in the main house. So I'm sure you're looking forward to doing that some more.
Well, you're going to have to bury the wires first though.
Yeah, we got some work to do, but
we've got a lot of work to do.
Yes, but I definitely would like to put some more insulation into the walls, more insulation in the ceiling.
No, definitely.
Redo the wiring.
We've got a lot of work up there.
But
now, in terms of asbestos or anything like that in here, do we know if
I've tested the flooring. I've sent that off and I got that back and that was tested clear.
Okay.
I will check if we get anything in the attic like vermiculite. So we didn't have any vermiculite in the main house. For those of you that are not familiar, vermiculite's a mineral. It was typically mined in Wyoming, Montana, those kind of areas. And when you heat it up, it expands and it almost looks like those sort of packing peanuts.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's really light, but it's a mineral. But there's a certain percentage of those that do have asbestos in them.
Okay.
So I'll poke my head up there one of these days and take a look.
Why is that bit? Sorry, just looking at.
I think that was a ceiling access point, but we'll take that out as well and get that.
No, but what's up there? Have you even looked?
The ceiling is it's like.
It's flat, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's not completely flat.
It's
There's a pitch, but it's a really shallow pitch. You couldn't really get much up in there, so I'll figure that out. But we'll replace that with some drywall and get that cleaned up and looking good.
It's freezing in here.
It is pretty cold.
I'm gonna go back in.
All right, babe.
I'm so cold. All right.
See you, babe.
Bye.